What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Jericho Report Weekly News Briefing. It is Saturday, the 24th of January, 2015. As always, the first link below will take you over to the Blogspot. That's where you can find all this madness I'm going to give you, and I hope you're ready because I got plenty for you. Let's start off with a fire. Luxury New Jersey apartment complex destroyed in massive fire. Why is that my top story? Because pull it up and check out the video. Big fire. Got another fire. Tech tycoon Don Pyle and family members unaccounted for after mass fire. Says he was actually involved with monitoring the government, so I wonder if he was taken out. Their mansion apparently went up in flames. Never know. Meanwhile, shots fired outside of Joe Biden's house in Delaware. How did Uncle Benny say it in Lethal Weapon 4? Too bad they missed. I'll put a link to that. Let the computer catch up here. We got breaking Obama. Obama busted in what may be the crime of the century. Impeach him now, January 16, 2015, from Conservative Tribune. I have not looked into that. Good luck with the impeachment. From Newsweek, we got why is Saudi Arabia burying King Abdullah in unmarked grave? As a lot of you know, King Abdullah died. Doesn't really mean much to me. That reminds me of Police Academy 4, though. Fools think they could kill the brother of Abdullah. From Fox News, we got Gitmo commander relieved of duty amid probe into man's death, officials say. Another high-ranking military officer out. What does it mean? I don't know. Sick airline passenger. Some Ebola news. Ebola in America. Sick airline passenger flying from Sierra Leone taken to hospital. I believe this happened in Newark. This is News 4 out in New York. Put a link to that. Be advised. Measles outbreak going on at Disney World, Disneyland. I don't know. I think somewhere out in California. Check this out. Look how they slant this. Measles outbreak casts spotlight on anti-vaccine movement. Of course. Right on. I'll put a link to that local media. Lizard Squad, DDoS for hire services hacked. So the hackers got hacked. Users details revealed. This came out 19 January 2015 from We Live Securely. Put a link to that. Never heard of it. One more in the general bin. Speaking of hacking, internet attack could shut down U.S. gas stations. January 22nd. Over to financial news. How the Dow Jones did on the week. Looks like on Friday it fell 141 points to close at 17,672. Still 17 and a half. You know, whatever. Doesn't really mean much to me. I'll put a link to the numbers if you want to know. Craig Roberts, says the whole world is staring down the barrel of a gun as global collapse looms. This January 23rd, I don't know who he is or know this website. I'll put a link to it from the Daily Mail. Wall Street banks slash 50,000 jobs and reduce bonuses and expenses as profits continue to dry up. Uh-oh, not a good time for the banks. I have a hard time believing they're going to get rid of the bonuses. eBay to cut 2,400 jobs, says Hawaii News Now via CNN. I'll put a link to this. Be advised. eBay's having problems. Not problems in Senator Dianne Frankenstein's home, though. Her husband stands to profit big from government deal. This from page 6 on January 16. Put a link to that. Look at this. This is one of the big problems with America. This will definitely piss you off. Obese mom and daughter are happy living on government benefits. Says they would rather be fat on benefits than thin and working. I'll put a link to it. ABC News has government healthcare website quietly sharing your personal data. January 20, put a link to that. Speaking of healthcare, Medicare chief steps down. She ran the healthcare rollout. More people disappearing? I don't know. George Soros. This is no shocker here. George Soros funds Ferguson protest, hopes to spur civil action. January 14 from the Washington Times. One more, speaking of him, not financial related, but just FYI from Raw Story. Darren Wilson will not face federal charges for killing Michael Brown. Over to New World Order and Police State News, and off the top, a couple of stories that really pissed me off this week. Imagine going through a drive-thru, getting a burger, going down the road, eating your burger, you're going about your day, and getting pulled over and getting a ticket for eating while driving. That's what happened to a man down in Cobb County, Georgia. Apparently an officer saw him coming out of a drive-thru, followed him down the road, decided he was creating, even though he wasn't swerving or speeding or anything, he was creating a hazard because he was eating his burger while driving. That's what it's coming to America. Another one, stop and seize. Aggressive police take hundreds of millions of dollars from motorists not charged with crimes. CNN actually did a piece, this is from the Washington Post, but I saw it on CNN, about how police officers across this nation are seizing cash and property from people who they think might be involved in some sort of illegal activity, haven't done anything wrong, not suspected of any crime, but they're taking your stuff. Highway robbery is what it is. Take a look at the article. They actually tell one guy that if he wants to contest it, they'll take his car too. We got other news going on. New Jersey cops shoot 9 times, kill black man who has his hands up. I was reluctant to put this in the police statement because this guy's a known scumbag. He's actually fired on police before, but still his hands were up. I mean, did he deserve to die? I'll put a link to the article. You decide. San Francisco PD officer probed for wheelchair tipping altercation. Officer says man ran over his foot. That's why he pushed him into the street. I don't know. There's a YouTube video over there. You can check it out and decide for yourself. I think even if you ran over someone's foot, the fact that the man can't walk and you pushed him over, I don't know, very disturbing. We Are Change has report says EPA tested deadly air pollutants on children. January 27, 2015, the government would never do that. Actually, they did in St. Louis back during the Cold War times. They were shooting poison off of high-rise buildings. Yeah, Google that. It's mainstream news. The Washington Post says requiring kindergartners to read as Common Core does may harm some. May harm some. But a link to it, this is outrageous. DCF and hospital receiving threats over forced chemotherapy. In Hartford, Connecticut, a 17-year-old girl is being forced to go through chemotherapy against her will. Please tell me what you think about that, America. Take a look at the video. Very distressing. We got dad faces jail for giving daughter cannabis oil, which relieved her symptoms. Dying daughter, I should add. Cannabis oil, which relieved her symptoms. Had a story like this last week as well. What do you think about that? We Are Change, another one from the agency, will confiscate infant if entire family doesn't get flu shots. You heard that right. They got a report on it. And from Zero Hedge, if you question authority, you are mentally ill, report finds. Well, of course. Of course. How could you question authority? That's just craziness. Let me catch my breath. Over to World War III. It was the West and Ukraine preparing for war with Russia. That from We Are Change. I got another one here on that. Russian general warns of World War III. More World War III banter going on, as it has for many years now, but with what we're doing to oil and Russia's economy, it's kind of ramping up. U.S. troops to, now check this out, U.S. troops to deploy to Middle East to train Syrian rebels. Okay, that from Stars and Stripes. But check this next one out from We Are Change. 3,000, now pay attention, 3,000 moderate rebels defect to ISIS. U.S. is preparing 5,000 more. So as the United States is training these rebels that are defecting to ISIS, in essence, the United States is training and arming the ISIS, our supposed enemy. Fox News has this. Experts say ISIS random clip faked. This is mainstream news. Faked as deadline for Japanese hostage passes. A faked ISIS clip. No way. Mainstream news, you don't say. Breitbart has this. German embedded reporter says ISIS plans on killing hundreds of millions in religious cleansing. I don't worry about ISIS. I worry about my own government and the Mossad and the CIA and all of that. That's what I'm concerned with. ISIS, no matter to me. Here's one that pisses me off. Muslim immigrants smash and urinate on Virgin Mary statue in Italy. I'm not a religious person, but that pisses me off. Meanwhile, in France, you got French revenge attacks on mosque with pig heads and firebombs. I don't feel so bad about that, even though I know it's not right. I'm just telling you how I feel. You want me to lie to you? Stars and Stripes has Yemen rebels seize presidential sites but deny coup. A lot of stuff going on in Yemen. I think the U.S. is pulling people out of the embassy and all that. Meanwhile, Yemeni terror suspects held at Gitmo released to live in nearby Oman. Now I'm all for shutting down Gitmo, but while we're having these problems with Yemen, we're releasing Yemeni terror suspects at the same time. Very suspect, just my opinion. We Are Change. CIA on trial in Virginia for planting nuke evidence in Iran. Go figure that, January 20. Good report. And while all of this doom and gloom goes on, doomsday clock moved forward 2 minutes, now sits 3 minutes from midnight. Over to Earth Changes in 2012 news. Not too many quakes in the past week. We got a 6.8 out of somewhere. I don't know where. I don't even know how to say that. 4.4 out of California, 6.6 out of Panama. That was back on the 7th, though. I'll put this link from the USGS. Big quakes on the left, small quakes on the right. A lot of small quakes going on, as always. Great resource to check for quake information. We got mysterious boom precedes Obama in Cedar Falls, Iowa. A lot of stories coming out the past couple weeks about mysterious booms. This was actually from January 15. I thought that was interesting that it preceded his visit to Iowa. What do you think about that? Pipeline breach, no good. Pipeline breach spills oil into Yellowstone River, approximately 50,000 gallons of it. This on the 19th of, actually 18th of January, HuffPost. We got another one of these, if the computer will catch up here. Nearly 3 million gallons of drilling waste spill from North Dakota pipeline this January 22nd. Human beings are doing their best to mess up the earth. What else we got? We got mysterious goo blamed in San Francisco Bay Area for bird deaths. More bird deaths going on, blamed on mysterious goo. Not sure what's up with that. Meanwhile, speaking of goo, we got sea sparkle, eerie blue glow off Hong Kong, blamed on, I can't scroll down, toxins. So eerie blue toxic water pollution. Yuck. Put a link to it. Check out the picture though. Very pretty. Irony: 1,700 private jets descend on economic forum to discuss climate change. Think about that for a minute from We Are Change. Meanwhile, be advised, asteroid 1,800 feet across to whip past Earth on Monday. This from Hawaii News Now. Put a link to that. Sorry if I'm a little slow with some of these. I'm letting the computer load the links as I go. And Planet X is back in the news. Mysterious Planet X may really lurk undiscovered in our solar system. January 16, 2015 from space.com. Oh, Anunnaki, are you ever coming for the gold? You're not taking the women. China's crazy plan to mine the moon. That's the last one I had in the Earth Changes in 2012 bin. There's a video on that. Over to strange and bizarre news. Got a lot of strange news this week. Man arrested after tackling shopper carrying firearm legally. So someone saw someone carrying a weapon in a store, decided to tackle that person. Turns out he was legally carrying that gun. Now that guy's in trouble. It's just strange how some of this works out. Man kicks indoor with machete, only to find a resident who responds with a gun. Right on. Guns for the win this week once again. Bonnie and Clyde teens caught in Florida. I think he was 17, she was 13. They went on a crime spree. Well, they've been caught. Put a link to that. They got surveillance video. Wife stunned. Wife stunned after husband bulldozes their home while she's away. You ever see the movie War of the Roses? North Miami Beach man cooked alive while using sauna. That sucks. They got a video on that. Local media out of Miami. Meanwhile, teen poses as a doctor for a month. Again, what movie was it? Leo DiCaprio, I think. Catch Me If You Can. Good stuff. Definitely check out that movie, too. Put a link to the story. Drone loaded with meth crashes near U.S.-Mexico border crossing. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. Put a link to that from Stars and Stripes. CNN has driver pinned between two semi-trucks, tells terrifying, you have got to pull it up and check this out. This guy got smashed between semi-trucks and lives to tell about it. He's the luckiest guy. He needs to go buy a Powerball ticket, I'm telling you. We Are Change has student trapped in bizarre deja vu time loop for 8 years. Not sure what's up with that, just thought it sounded strange. And one more, we have another beheading, man beheaded in busy shopping mall in China. For all other news, please check my favorite videos. I have favorited quite a few videos over the past week. Thank you to everybody who puts out content. At least pull it up, scan over the titles, see if there's anything over there you don't know about. Got a few shout outs this week. Shout out to Washington State Rep says we will not comply with new gun control. Right on, Breitbart. Shout out to the Second Amendment again this week. I'll put a link to that. Shout out to the X-Files. Check this out. The truth is out there. Fox wants to reboot the X-Files TV show with original stars. I think that's a great idea because a lot of truth is told to us through that TV show. Just my opinion. And shout out to Gray State. You know, no sooner did I post my last video, you guys were sending me links about the rough cut that was released. Deceased filmmakers documentary finally released, Gray State: The Rise. I did see part of it. Be advised, if you're uploading that, it is being pulled down off of YouTube through DMCA, so, be aware. I didn't think that was the movie that they were making, though, because if you watch the trailer, it seems like more of a Hollywood production. This was more of like an interview thing, so I don't know if that was quite the movie that they were going to come out with or what, but it has been released. I'll put this link from the activist post. They got the video embedded, or maybe, no, it's been DMCA. I'll put a link to the article anyway. You can Google the title of the movie to find it. It's out there, and you can download it in several places. Just Google it. You will find it. That's all I got for this week, guys. Another week of madness indeed. If you'd like the report, please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I think it sucked. It's the worst of YouTube. You never want to see it again. Please rate, though. It helps me move around. I do appreciate it. You can also follow me on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter for live show alerts, breaking news alerts, new upload alerts. Always over there as soon as they're up. Madness all around. Longer report this week. I try to make them 10 minutes or under, but sometimes I just got to talk a little longer because there's so much going on. That's pretty much all I got. Until the next one, you guys take care, stay safe, have a good weekend, have a good week. I will see you on the next one.